Okay, and we are back in the big room. The big room is available today for me, so I can make sure my pants are adjusted. Yeah. Hey, big room, a lot of space. You see more of me. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about the Jussie Smolett, the clock. A lot of guys say when the clock is not going off, at least the big room is more conducive for audio. Never forget to take a pill. I'm leaving this in. Okay. We are going to talk about the Jussie Smolett case. I know I talked about it once before, but Jussie Smolett in recent weeks has been completely exonerated of all charges. Now, in practicality, there are several reasons why the charges are dropped in cases. First and foremost, lack of evidence. A lot of times, a police officer will arrest somebody because he's 51% certain that person committed a crime. But when it gets to the district attorney's office, okay, in order to go from arrest to conviction, that 51% possibility of guilt has to come up dramatically. Because guilty is only satisfied when the person is beyond all reasonable doubt guilty. And a lot of times cases fall apart. You know, a witness may say, I don't want to testify now. And the judge might say, well, I don't want to force him to testify. And yes, they can force you to testify. They can force you to testify against anyone except yourself and your wife. That's it. Your spouse, rather. That's it, okay? So you can be forced to testify against your best friend. And the reason why a lot of guys are in prison is because their best friend was forced to testify against them. But a lot of times, witness says, I don't want to testify, and the judge's like, I don't want to force the issue. I'm busy. It's a minor, what is it? Shoplifting? Please, fucking forget it. Okay. Or sometimes the victim may drop the charges. If it's domestic violence, if it's a child, they don't drop the charges. The state presses charges anyway. But the majority of the time, it's, you know, guy stole from my store, but he came back and apologized and gave me the item back, so I'm not going to push it. That's fine. Okay? I had an argument with a guy, he punched me in the face. I shouldn't have started the argument, it's my fault. I'm not going to press charges. Okay? And they just go away. Okay? Sometimes evidence disappears, evidence gets lost, evidence is mishandled. The defense attorney says to the prosecutor on the side, listen, you mishandled that evidence. You didn't have the warrant, or you touched it without gloves, or it disappeared, or it was in a closet for 6 months and was just found yesterday and no one knows where it's been. I'm going to raise that and I'm going to ask the case, okay, we'll drop the charges. Okay? And sometimes they do what they call diversion or wash. And you heard the term wash on Dog the Bounty Hunter many years ago because some asshole had a fist fight with his son, Leland, and they ended up dropping charges because they said wash is like the cops get to the scene and two guys got into a fight. The cops were like, okay, you're going to say sorry, you're going to say sorry, you're going to shake hands, and we're going to go away. That's called a wash. So a lot of times, people may kiss and make up. A lot of times, we have low-level crimes by young people. You may have a juvenile on trial for shoplifting. And it's obviously the juvenile courtroom, not the adult courtroom. And the store may say to the mother, listen, your son stole this, I got it on tape, give me the money back. He stole this, it's worth this much money, give me the money back. And the mother may say, Your Honor, I'm going to pay back the store owner, and then I'm going to take my son home and beat the shit out of him. Okay, I'll drop the charges. Kids smoking weed. Okay, the judge will say, listen, I'll drop the charges if you attend a course. There'll be like a night class about drug awareness, and you attend that and have the guy sign a letter and give it back, and I'll drop the charges. Fine. I'll give you one incident. My brother-in-law's best friend is I don't know about now, but he was at one point like a degenerate fucking gambler. Fucking degenerate. And he was out somewhere sometime, gambling, and the cops came in and the cops took everyone away. And he went to court the next day, where the fuck it was, and the judge said, listen, I wasn't there, this is the judge, I wasn't there when that happened, but the judge said, listen, just get out of here. Okay, you have a wife, you have 2 kids at home, okay, you're embarrassing yourself, just get out of here. But if you come back again, you're in trouble. And the judge scared the shit out of him. I had a law professor one time who said she had a young guy on trial. I don't know what he did, but there was a young guy on trial. And this is a jury trial, which is very, very rare. And the jury knew the kid was guilty. I don't know what the kid did, but the kid's stupid. And the jury found him not guilty, even though they knew he was guilty. And on the way out, the jury told the kid, the jury actually walked past the kid, which is very rare, and one of the jurors leaned over to the kid and said, we did you a favor, son. Okay, they wanted to scare him. Okay, so the jury found him not guilty to scare the shit out of him, send him home, give him the message, okay, that happens. Very rare the jury walks right by the defendant. Very, very rare. And very rare they talk to the defendant. That's extremely rare. But that's what happened. I'll give you another example. When I was in 7th grade, we went to Boston. 8th grade, we went to Washington, D.C. And the class trips were held at different times because 2 guys had to go on both trips. The head attendance keeper and the 8th grade dean. They went on both trips together, okay? Now, my class, it's May of 1995. We're having a meeting with the parents in the auditorium. The 8th grade dean comes in and says, I am Mr. Ciro. Real big fucking fat guy. Nice guy though. He said, last year a student embarrassed himself. And we told you that if your student embarrassed himself, we're going to send him home. It was too late in the trip to send him home. So we made him sit on the bus the entire rest of the time there. And we went on the way home the last day. We stopped at the Basketball Hall of Fame. And we made him sit in the lobby with me. We had dinner at the pool. He had dinner in his room. I told his father what he did. And he was suspended for 5 days on top of that. Plus, I guarantee you, next year you couldn't go to Washington, guaranteed. And then, in history class, the history teacher was talking about the kid shoplifting. And I was like, is that the kid, Mr. Sears? Yes, it was. Okay. This kid shoplifted a cassette tape. Yeah, I'm dating myself now, aren't I? He was in the marketplace, which is right next to the aquarium in Boston. And he shoplifted a cassette tape. I went to the store the next year and I bought a Dracula VHS tape. Anyway, he shoplifted a cassette tape. And the manager of the store was going to press charges, call the police, blah, 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 blah. And the other kids ran back, got the dean. The dean went over, and the dean sat down with them, and the dean said, listen, we're from Yonkers, New York. We're very sorry. I'm going to take care of him myself. Please don't press charges. And the manager said, okay, I'm not going to press charges. They got back to the hotel because there was no cell phones back then. They called his father. And in my day, when your father got a phone call that you were on a field trip stealing and you were almost arrested, okay, God help you when you got the fuck home. And he got punished. He had to sit on the bus or sit in the lobby with the dean. He had to sit in his room and eat dinner. He couldn't eat dinner with his friends. He got suspended for 5 days. I guarantee he got banned from going to the Washington trip next year. And I guarantee his father beat the shit out of him. Okay? So that's an example of a diversion. Other time, people do drugs, they drink, and the judge says, listen, I'll put you in rehab instead of jail. Plead guilty, and I will sentence you to rehab. But if you fuck up and you come back here, the rehab sentence is going to be retracted, and I'm going to replace it with a jail sentence. Every time you're on probation, there is a jail sentence behind that probationary sentence. And if you're not complying with probation, if you're not home by 9 o'clock, if you're not going to the probation office, if you're getting in more trouble, okay, there is a jail sentence that can be replaced very easily. Okay, now, Jussie Smolett, like we all know, went out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think he went out very late at night or very early in the morning in Chicago to get a sandwich when it was a polar vortex, 30 degrees out. Okay, no, less, sub 30 degrees. Okay, and two white guys are walking around Chicago, with MAGA hats, and the white guys see him, and they have a noose, and they have Clorox, and he's a gay black celebrity. They beat the shit out of him, okay, and, you know, this is in MAGA country, okay, and most guys were laughing at that, okay, and it ended up being not true. His accomplices who were hired to beat him up confessed, okay, and he was charged with 16 felonies of filing false police reports, false testimony, okay, all that bullshit. Well, what happened was he was called to court, and the DA said, I'm dropping all the charges. Now, a lot of that stuff I talked about the parents getting involved, or a kid going to a awareness class instead of, okay, or the judge dropping the charges, that's mostly for low-level beef, first-time offender, youthful offender, stuff like that, okay? Now, yes, he is a first-time offender, but he's an adult, and he's charged with several felonies, and he cost the city a lot of money, and he could have started, this could have started a race war. This could have started riots, okay? They had about a dozen detectives every hour for a week working on the case. And those are detectives that were needed for murders, needed for robberies, needed for drug trafficking, but they had to stop what they were doing to go fuck around his shit. Okay? He cost the city a lot of money, and he made it difficult for them to deal with real crime. And the charges were dropped on the condition that he forfeits bail. Now, I said about bail before. Bail is you give the judge a lot of money, and the judge lets you stay home while trial is going on and come to court as needed. If not, you have to sit in jail the entire duration of the trial. And at the end of trial, the judge gives you money back. And the question is, if the judge has the deed to your $500,000 house in a lockbox, are you going to run away? Well, if you're charged with petty larceny and you're facing a week in jail, no. If you're charged with triple homicide and you're looking at the death penalty, yes, okay? So, and if you run away, the judge keeps your money or keeps your property until you come back for trial. And if you never come back for trial, then the judge has a lot of money, or the judge has a new car, or the judge has a new house. Well, he gets to forfeit the $10,000 bond. Now, for you to forfeit a $10,000 bond would be very, very bad for you. But he makes $150,000 an episode for Empire. And TV shows last, what, about 20 episodes a season on average? So he's making a couple $1 million a year. Plus he gets public appearances, okay, autograph signings, all that shit. That's all money, okay. So he's a millionaire, okay. So for him to have to pay $10,000 and in exchange for that, he gets to stay at a state prison. That's nothing for him. That's nothing. He didn't even miss it. And they later said that the DA thought he was guilty, and the DA thought they had a good case. But because it's a first-time offender, and because it's not violent, he gets a wash, okay? Let me put it to you this way. If you are charged with 16 felonies, even if they're non-violent, you do not get to say, well, it's a first-time offense, let me go home. Okay? You know, I don't want to be on trial. I don't want to be punished. Okay? And this motherfucker, he made a hoax to emphasize that America's racist, America sucks, whites are racist, Republicans are racist, Trump is racist, his supporters are racist, okay? America's not fair, America hates minorities, okay? And he's a gay black celebrity walking right out of a courtroom. Bullshit. This would never happen to you. You would never get a wash. And we've all seen celebrities. A celebrity gets probation for the same exact crime that gets a guy prison. A celebrity gets a misdemeanor charge for the same exact crime that gets you a felony charge. Okay, we've all seen that shit. Okay, they've given celebrities millions of chances. Okay, if a celebrity goes to jail, a lot of celebrities in jail get a special unit they're put on. They don't get put in general population. Okay. And yeah, okay, they get $1 million. Or celebrities have a lot of money, so they can afford to hire that high-class lawyer. Okay, celebrities have a lot of money, so paying the fine for them is not as bad as you paying the fine. Paying bail is easier for them as opposed to you paying bail. Okay, because their bank has, okay. But for a celebrity to just have a complete wash of 16 felonies like this. Now, a lot of people said that maybe he should have been taught 1 felony. Maybe he should have been 2 felonies. Maybe he should have been 5 misdemeanors, okay? Maybe he was overcharged. Fine. But for a complete wash is absolute fucking horseshit. Okay? Because I guarantee you that if you went out tomorrow and said that you were attacked, and if you had detectives working day and night, and if detectives had to stop working on murders to pay attention to you, and okay, and if you were in the newspaper and on television and crying and oh my God, my life is over, okay, and embarrassing the city, okay, they would fucking lynch you. Okay, they would go in there and they would redo the riot act. Okay, that DA would stand on the table and scream and point and yell you, Your Honor, this guy is a piece of shit. This guy hurt people's lives. Okay. The prosecutor would bring in all the people whose family members were murdered, okay, and who had detectives come off their murder investigation to pay attention to your investigation, okay? That's right, okay? They would have a flawed chart of all the money. This is how much money every detective makes an hour. This is how much money every detective makes a year. This is the amount of hours they spent devoted to you. This is the cost it was to the taxpayer, okay? They would have those 2 fucking Matt Dingle guys come in. And they'd be like, these guys are accomplices. They're involved too. They're going to get leniency, but they're still going to jail. Your accomplices will go to jail. The judge would say, okay, your crime is a year in prison. Do 6 months in jail. The accomplices. And in exchange, they would serve you up on a silver platter to the judge and to the jury, okay? It will be, okay, it will be national fucking news. It will be national fucking news. Okay, it will be national fucking news. But he gets a pass. Now, according to rumor, and this is actual truth, if you get let off the hook because someone called in a political favor, that's a federal offense. And the FBI is now investigating the prosecutor because it is believed that there was some underlying bullshit going on behind closed doors about, I don't know if it was payoffs, I don't know if it was money, I don't know if it was a political favor, okay? And he said, well, he's a staple of his community, he's a role model for black people, he's a role model for the gay, Q, lesbian community, okay? He worked as a charity for Jesse Jackson. Yeah, he was volunteering at Jesse Jackson's charity. Okay, first and foremost, motherfuckers, Jesse Jackson doesn't have a charity. Okay, he doesn't. Okay, Jesse Jackson has a fucking scam going on. Okay, Jesse Jackson and his piece of shit friend Al Sharpton are race pimping scumbags that get paid money to start fights. Okay. Okay, I work for Jesse Jackson. That counts as charity. Fuck you. Okay. But they believe there was some underlying bullshit. I even heard Michelle Obama's name mentioned. I wasn't there, but the FBI is investigating the possibility that there might have been some underlying bullshit on the side. Another possibility, and it's even more possible now. He allegedly mailed himself powder to be confused for anthrax. Mailing a weapon, a chemical weapon, is a federal crime. Mailing a fake chemical weapon is a federal crime. Mailing yourself a fake chemical weapon with the hope of causing a panic is a federal crime. So he can get charged with that. And I think he should. Okay? Because we always talk about celebrities get better treatment than us. They do. Celebrities get much better treatment than us. Let's be realistic about that. But his treatment of us, his treatment compared to ours rather, is absolute fucking bullshit. Okay? You or I would never get this. Even by a celebrity's standard, this is bullshit. Okay? Because even celebrities have to pay crippling fines. Okay? Even celebrities have to agree to plead guilty to a crime, have a criminal conviction on the record, and go to rehab instead of jail. Okay? Even celebrities get house arrest. Okay? Even celebrities get ankle monitors. Okay? This is bullshit. It is bullshit. He doesn't want to be in trouble. He doesn't feel like he's a criminal. Okay? He didn't hurt anybody. He doesn't agree with that. Fuck you. Okay? And let me tell you something right now, okay? He had better be done. He goes to the fucking NAACP Image Awards too on top of that. He get a fucking break. But I would never watch a TV show with him on it. Never. I would never watch a movie with him in it, okay? If I walked into a room and I saw his ass, I would get up and leave, okay? People need to send a message to people, okay? Empire, I never watched it myself, but Empire, stop watching it. When Empire comes on, click off. Even though he got fired, Empire still said we feel bad for him. We're glad he's not in trouble anymore, okay? So even though Empire fired him, they still gave out words of inspiration and words of hope for him, okay? But if he's on a television show, don't watch it, period. Okay? If he's on like a guest appearance, you're watching your favorite TV show, and he's making a guest appearance in one episode, don't watch that episode. Period. This is fucking disgusting. Okay? And you want to talk about racism? Let's talk about racism. Okay? There are black people in Chicago that are murdered by black people. Every day. Every day. And their justice was compromised because the professionals, the prosecutors, the detectives, the forensic scientists, all those professionals who are paid a lot of money to investigate those crimes, those murders, those rapes, those attempted murders, those shootings, all those resources had to be devoted to this. That's racism. You're taking away valuable resources from the black community that are being directed to help black people specifically because you want attention for yourself. I'm not making enough money. Well, you know what, motherfucker? I wish I got paid $150,000 a project, okay? I wish I got paid that. Okay? You stand in front of a camera and sing and dance, okay? Okay? I gotta go on the fucking street and I gotta risk my life to save people. Okay? I gotta risk my life to save people. Okay? I have to risk my life for a fraction of what you make. A fraction. Okay? You don't see me complaining, and you don't see me filing false police reports. Thank you. Bye. Assholes.